This is Mark and Charity's Coffee Podcast.
Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast for Wednesday, August 16th today. Sorry I'm late. I've decided to start drinking more water, and I have to go to the bathroom every 20 minutes. But my skin will be better,
happens,
right?
Yeah. You're flushing everything out. It's good. Get rid of it all.
Kath and I have decided that maybe we're going to go away this winter. Maybe we'll go on a trip.
You've started.
Yeah. So if we're not going to work in our beach pod for the summer, maybe, because plane seats aren't wide. And you eat a lot more when you're on vacation.
So how much do you have to lose?
Seriously? I think I got to lose 15. I think I got to lose 15 pounds.
Which will be like a week for you.
I think
because men just
true.
lose it.
I know.
Just you think about it and it's gone. It's
and that's happened before.
I'm not going to have the bottom half of this bag of chips. And it's done.
Drop 3 pounds.
Exactly.
Give up.
Dick.
Yeah, I know.
Such a jerk.
I know. It is harder for women, though, right? Yeah.
100%. I am not exaggerating. You think about it and it happens.
Yeah, I know. Except now that I'm at 60, I have zero metabolism. I keep everything.
Oh, whatever.
Nothing gets burned off.
Okay. We'll see.
But we'll see. So anyway,
you keep weighing yourself and you tell me when you're 15 pounds down.
Okay, I will.
Okay?
I will.
I know you're.
I'll tell you.
Next week's going to be tough, but you started this week.
CNE, right.
So you tell me when it's gone.
Okay.
And then I'll lose 15 pounds and we'll see how long it takes me.
Yeah, but I have so many more pounds to lose than you do. I am
almost 20 years younger than you.
Yeah.
And we'll see how long it takes me to lose 15 pounds.
You're half my weight.
No.
You can't lose 15 pounds.
Yes, I can.
Cannot.
Yes, I can, and I need to.
No, you
Yes,
don't.
I do, Mark.
Oh.
Yes, I do. For my size, yes, I do.
No.
And it's becoming more and more apparent. Because what was one of the dad jokes this morning? I thought the dryer was shrinking my clothes, but it turns out it's the fridge.
It's the fridge,
and that's exactly what it is. And you say you're 60 and it's harder for you. I have noticed in the last maybe year and a half, 2 years tops, since I've turned 40, it is incredibly hard.
Yeah.
And things are changing.
Yeah.
Things are moving and growing, and it's not okay.
Not okay.
And going just completely. I mentioned my eyes. Like it's starting.
Yeah,
starting.
It's a life well lived. And like I said on the air this morning, though, to have lived in this area and not been a boy band, what a waste of a life.
Oh my God! You need to come to terms. I think you need to talk to somebody about this.
Come to terms with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know.
Accept it. And you know what? Accept the fact that maybe, it didn't happen in the first half of your life, but there's still a chance it could happen.
We live a long time.
Now.
Maybe the world is ready for a 70-year-old boy band. That all just me and a bunch of other seniors that never made it.
The way AI is going, you could take
not even AI.
Harry Styles. You could take Joe Jonas. You could take Kevin from the Backstreet Boys and create your own with them.
No, I think I have enough talent to do it on my own. We'll see.
Or just have 5 members of Mark.
Nobody wants that band.
And see how that turns out.
Hey, thanks for helping on McDonald's today. I know that this podcast is posted later in the afternoon. Still plenty of time to get out there. In Eastern Ontario, all the McDonald's are raising money for all the hospitals.
Mm-hmm. Here locally, Belleville, Trenton, Picton, Brighton, Campbellford, Madoc are raising money through their sales of Big Macs and McChicken, $1 from each of those sales, and their coffees, 50 cents from coffee sales today, going back to Belleville General Hospital, Trenton Memorial Hospital, Picton Hospital, Campbellford, to help out our local hospitals.
Speaking of Campbellford, we got in touch with John Russell, the executive director of the foundation in Campbellford, to talk about how important today is. So the partnerships with great companies and people like McDonald's to raise money for the hospital. It's a great day for you today.
This is pretty amazing because this is a project that was started last year at the McDonald's in Trenton and Campbellford, and it's just branched out to all of the McDonald's restaurants in Eastern Ontario. It's really quite something. They've really picked up on it, and it's really a grassroots thing that's happened at the McDonald's to support the local hospitals.
Now, $1 from every Big Mac and McChicken, and then 50 cents from every coffee going to support the Campbellford Memorial Hospital Foundation. In what way, John? How will this money go to benefit the hospital?
Well, our top priority item here at the hospital is our new CT. We have a CT scanner that is 13 years old, and it's due to be replaced. It's occasionally breaking down. It's costly to repair. It's served us well for many, many years, but it's time to replace it. And so that's what the funds are going to here. And each McDonald's can designate their funds to whichever hospital they like, and then each hospital has their high priority items as well.
John Russell joins us, Executive Director of the Campbellford Memorial Hospital Foundation. Do you have some volunteers and staff that are going to be out at the location today?
Yeah, it was, it's the middle of summer. It's a little challenging at times, but we have a great crew of volunteers that will be out today here in Campbellford and in Madoc. The McDonald's there. We have firefighters that are helping us out as well. We'll be, in addition to the funds that McDonald's will donate through the sale of the Big Macs and the McChickens and the coffees, we'll be able to accept donations from the public by the firefighters and the volunteers. So people can donate their change or tap a donation, whatever they like, to help support the hospitals.
Wonderful to hear, John. You yourself will be out today, I assume?
I've been stationed to the Campbellford McDonald's, and my coworker Catherine Holt, our summer student, will be up in Madoc with all our volunteers up there, as well as the staff at the restaurants. They're really excited about this. They've already done a lot of promotion. They all know what we're raising funds for, and they're very excited about it. And really, you're not going to be able to miss it today because it's. Because from Kingston to Gananoque, Napanee, Belleville, Trenton, Madoc, Picton, Campbellford, Brighton, all those McDonald's are supporting their local hospitals.
Well, and living in Campbellford myself, I will say we are so lucky to have the hospital there, and it's so important to support it when we can.
Absolutely. We've really found that over the last few years. People have really had a fondness for hospitals, and they really have shown their generosity and their support, and we really appreciate it. And we couldn't do it without community support. People don't realize that equipment, vital signs monitors, CTs, building a new hospital, Picton, those funds, particularly for the equipment, have to come from the community. The province doesn't pay for new equipment. So if we need a new bed or CT or whatever the case may be, it is a community responsibility, and fortunately the community feels very fondly about their hospitals that they step up for it.
Lots of different ways you can support your hospitals. What an easy way today.
Yes.
And get lunch and dinner. Not lunch or dinner.
And
lunch and dinner, and then ice cream later.
Well, and get the coffee first thing in the morning.
Right, and make a donation.
So all day.
Yeah, all day. John Russell, looking after the money in Campbellford to make sure you get great health care. Thank you so much for everything the foundation does.
Really appreciate your support. We'll see everybody today. We couldn't do it without you guys, too. We really appreciate everything, and have a great day. And it's a beautiful day.
So again, lunch, dinner, there's always room for coffee. Grab one, pick one up, and help support your local hospital. It is so important. And I know working here in Belleville, generally we hear a lot about Belleville and Trenton. And of course they are the bigger hospitals in this area. But I have to say, living in Campbellford, and I mentioned it with John, how important that hospital is. And I've really come to appreciate it even more as we get older and how much it's needed in that community, because where we sit, it is either Peterborough or Belleville, the two larger centers. We're kind of in the middle. So anyone with minor injuries, or that's the place they go. Is Campbellford first, and then if needed, we go other places. But it's so important to have that. And same with Picton, I imagine, too, over in the county.
Oh, for sure.
You have that hospital there, and if you need more care, then, of course, you can go to other centers. But it's so important to have those local hospitals.
It's good. Money going to the CT scan, he says, in Campbellford.
Yes, in Campbellford.
So nice. And Campbellford's going to do a new build. We know PE, Prince Edward County.
And that's where their money's going today, is the Back the Build campaign for Picton, because they, too, are looking to build a new hospital. But, it was announced in the spring that Campbellford, the site of the new hospital, and it's going to be like a whole care center. They're planning long-term care. Hub, exactly. So everything will be there. Whatever you need when it comes to your health care will be right there. It's pretty cool, but it's a big build.
Urban planning. Put some veterinary in there. There's big builds.
Yeah.
And that urban, they make it a whole care center wing.
Yeah.
That's where everything is. There'll be doctors' offices. I can just see that happening. So
and as I said, long-term care, retirement care. It'll all be there for everyone. It's pretty awesome.
smart.
awesome.
Well, we're all going to move to Campbellford when it's over then. So smart.
But it's just in addition to the wonderful healthcare we have
That's
here
right.
in the area.
And you need that because Dewar's is not helping me with my diet. And World's Finest Chocolate. You're not helping me with my diet, you guys.
Sorry.
That's okay.
They're not the only ones. There's a lot of places.
Hey, and then we had some fun this morning with the 2022 Global Peace Index.
Yes.
So this ranking takes a number of months to do. And of 163 countries around the world, they throw all the factors in to determine what are the safest countries in the world. Propensity of war. So if you're always at war.
Yeah.
Civil unrest. And things like disparity of income, which could lead to crime and civil unrest. Political stability, education levels. There's a lot that they go in. And neighbors.
A lot of factors,
You
yeah.
know, so if you're always beside a belligerent country.
See, and
then
that
you fear
one
attack, stuff like that, right?
makes me nervous because
Yep.
you pointed out where we land and then where the states land. It's
Yeah.
like, wow, there's a gap there. There's a much bigger gap than I thought there would be.
And laugh about it or don't laugh about it or think in the end it's a, tempest in a teapot and all they say that. But it's showing up because Canada ranked 11th. And the United
Out of
States,
163 countries.
11th.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The United States is 131st.
It's
So
down
according
there.
to that-
It's near the bottom.
Yeah. There are only 32 countries more
Worse.
violent than the United States. There are 130 that aren't as violent as the United States right now. Civil unrest, propensity to war, all this other stuff.
And they're right next door.
They're right there. So as I mentioned
You
this
joked.
morning,
Yeah.
maybe we should build the wall. I don't know, keep them. But anyway, here we go. So here are the ones in the top 20. Canada showed up at number 11.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Top 5, starting at 5, Austria.
Okay.
4, Denmark. Mm-hmm. And then we go, 3 of them are islands.
They're on to something.
Ireland.
Beautiful
Number
country.
2, New Zealand.
Yes, I thought that one would be number one, to be honest.
but you nailed it.
Because they
number
nailed
2.
COVID. You never
Yeah.
hear anything about them.
Right.
And if you do, it's just good. They're filming a movie down there. That's what
Yeah.
you hear. Like,
Yeah,
it's
New
nothing
Zealand.
bad.
Sometimes they just check in to remind us that
they're
they're
there.
there.
Yeah.
Just check
Yeah.
in. We send a couple athletes to the Olympics. How'd they do? And number 1 is Iceland.
Yes.
'Cause who fights Iceland? Nobody. It's
Exactly.
beautiful. Reykjavik is
Yeah.
a beautiful cultural city of such history.
And all 3 of those, you quite often are, they're in the top countries for happiness, for economic stability, they seem to be the top of positive lists when it
Right.
comes to worldwide lists. So that doesn't surprise me.
Education of the citizens and everything. Yeah, they're
Work,
always up
family,
there.
like life
Oh,
balance.
Life balance. Yeah.
They just seem to get it. They've got it figured out.
They got it figured out, and for
And they're
whatever
happy.
reason, we'll study it, and we in North America dismiss it. Why? They're living longer. They're feeling good.
Maybe neighbors in the south dismiss it.
Well,
I
they
think
dismiss
Canada,
it.
like you said, we did land at 11.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're totally. We have things we need to work on. Clearly.
Sure. Yeah.
Clearly. But overall, we're safe.
I bet you if you went to Iceland, they would say, "Oh, I don't know, we could do this better." Hey, nobody's perfect. We're
No.
not saying because they didn't get 0, right? Nobody got 0 as you're completely safe at all times. You just have no propensity for things to go bad. You tend to look after things when they show up. You don't get in fights with people. So,
Well, and
anyway.
really compared to Canada, how big is Iceland?
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Do we have the same population, or is that crazy?
I thought they would be
No,
smaller.
probably. I'm
Iceland's
sure
smaller,
I'm
isn't
sure
it?
there might. There's like 18
because we need.
people.
Okay, so if we have more people, then our numbers might be a little higher.
True.
That's what puts.
So also
that's
in the top 20 countries like Portugal, Czech Republic, Japan.
Really?
Yeah, Japan. Germany, Croatia, Norway, Finland. Did I mention Hungary already? They're in there. So the United States is 131. Other major countries. Mexico, 136. So for all the fight on the southern border that they talk about, 131 and 136. Ukraine and Russia, predictably enough, are side by side on the list.
But they're not the worst.
Not the worst. Of 163 countries, Ukraine right now is 157 and Russia is 158. So
Wow.
get it together.
Yeah.
And nobody at CFP Trenton will be surprised to hear that the unsafest country in the world at number 163 is Afghanistan. Ended up a distant last. There is nothing safe about Afghanistan. On the Global Peace Index from 2022, Canada ranked number 11.
That's pretty awesome.
So, yeah.
And in comparison, in case you were wondering, I just found this. So Iceland has a population, if I'm reading this correctly, of 372,520.
That's in the entire country?
2021. That was from 2021.
Ooh.
Canada from 2021. Okay, so it is a couple of years ago, but 38 million.
38 million.
So we might have a few more.
If you had told me Iceland had 10 million people, I would have believed you.
I kind of, yeah.
Because Reykjavik is a national, like an international city. It's a hub. People talk about the culture of Reykjavik in Iceland.
What does it say, the population of that?
So this sounds like the city is smaller than Belleville. People in Iceland are going to be listening to the podcast going, well, we need to school you guys. Okay.
But
anyway.
yeah, that's what Google says.
Well, Google doesn't lie. It's on the internet.
But if you look, even looking at the map, okay, well, yeah. So here's Iceland.
Yeah.
Here's Canada.
Right. Tiny place.
So yeah.
Tiny place.
Yeah. But beautiful.
We don't have population density like they do, though.
No.
70% of our population lives within 100 kilometers of a border, and then...
of us.
Yeah.
And then the rest.
Rest are up top, yeah.
But yeah.
So.
And some crazy things going on. I was thinking about this morning. Have you been following the fires?
Yeah.
Like, I know there was that horrible fire in Maui.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing more and more about the Northwest Territories.
Yep.
And it's just
parts
incredible.
Of British
Hundreds
Columbia.
of fires burning up there.
Yeah. And I know it ties to global concerns of climate change.
Yes.
And the inability as well for us to control it. That's what strikes me. I'm not surprised if there is climate change, if there's not. Like, I don't need to get into the politics of it.
No.
But clearly we as humans have not been able to figure out how to deal with it, how to control it. I always thought we could. We have water planes, we have foaming, these are getting out of control and are becoming like major problems. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know.
Because they've been under a drought since May.
Yeah.
And there has been mention of global warming, hence the more severe storms they're getting.
Exactly.
And again, triggering the lightning and the thunder. And I've heard reporters say that we want rain, but typically when we get rain, we get the thunderstorms, and we don't want
lightning strikes.
Yep. That's what's causing all this. And the same with Maui. Now they're saying there's other reasons for it, but again, the weather ties into it. The strong winds from hurricanes and carrying it. And you're right, it's the control, I think, that is with anything, not just fires, but the flooding we're seeing, the tornadoes, all these quote unquote natural events are happening at a more severe level, and
now we can't control it.
We can't.
And that's the grave concern.
I don't know that there really is any way to control it.
True.
We just got to try and...
Mother Nature got here before we did.
Exactly.
And she'll be here long after we're gone.
You just have to have, I guess, a plan.
Jimmy Hollywood was talking about how Oprah's going to be phoning everybody to clean up Maui.
Yeah.
And then, that's great.
Because I didn't realize she had property there. I did not realize that she had another residence there. And she has for decades.
Right. And I'm okay with that. I don't want to get up on a soapbox. I'm okay with that. But I really do think, though, like as a society, we have to go away from celebrities can solve all problems with money. We need to just figure out how we're going to be able to work with nature and all of this so that not wait until something horrible happens and Hollywood will bail us out.
But she did say she was waiting to see how the money was going to be spent. She wasn't just showing up and writing a check.
Right.
She's like, I'm waiting until...
Get that.
Yeah. But as you said, maybe then she'll see, okay, how can we prevent this and what can we put into place to help protect, or maybe a better exit strategy or further alarms needed or whatever.
Have you ever been to Hawaii?
I have not. It's on my bucket list.
My wife went. I want to go desperately.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go in the next few years. That's someplace I want to go. She'd been there a long time ago. And she said, I said, in a word, beautiful. She said, in a word, lush.
Yeah.
So that's what surprised me about the fires, because it's so green. Again, you think of drought. Hawaii doesn't have droughts.
They did have a drought. They were experiencing
by
one
their
this year.
standards. Yeah, they had a drought. But you would think with the irrigation off the water, they didn't have that infrastructure because they never needed it.
Exactly.
So
you're surrounded by water, so you would think,
how does it? But
if we have a fire, we're going to be okay because we're surrounded by water.
Because we think as humans we're good.
Yeah.
Nature doesn't think that way.
Nope. And we've said it time and Mother Nature likes to remind us. It's like, boom, I'm here. And we see it, I'd say our area sees it more during the winter.
Yeah.
That's when we really feel the brunt.
Yeah. First
time
I ever heard of frostquake and stuff like this, right?
Yeah, the vortex. Was it winter vortex or?
Polar vortex.
Polar vortex. It's like, what is that?
Sounds like a fall fair ride, the polar vortex.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
It kind of does. You're right.
So,
I would probably quite enjoy that ride.
And if you want to stay up to date on all the news before we go, we should let you know about how news is being done differently online. Hit inquinty.ca. You can download apps to make sure that you can still get the information because news is being blocked on a lot of the Meta properties. And so
just when you need it the most, right?
Yeah.
Just when you think, okay, we need to stay up to date on the real news, not fake news.
Yeah.
Do you think that's maybe where it stemmed from?
Well, I think a lot of times because they get, all they want are clicks and eyeballs, right? That's it to make their money. And so if they can, get some information or fake information, doesn't matter, whatever. I mean, Cambridge Analytica is no longer here, and they proved that. So there's a lot of good documentaries on that. But anyway, I digress, not to get on a soapbox.
Just curious.
But just want to make sure that, because Charity, for example, you wanted to share when we had the anniversary of the blackout.
Yeah,
there was a news story on it.
There was a really good news because it broke down the timeline and had specific numbers about things that happened during the outage. I thought it was interesting.
No, it is, yeah.
And nope.
No, it gets
couldn't do
taken
it.
down.
I tried to share it, and then when you try to click it, the notice comes up that it was unavailable.
So if you're used to news showing up in your feeds and it isn't anymore, we want to make you know that you can get all kinds of information and download stuff from inquinty.ca.
Yes, you do have to go to the website first. And see, that's the annoying part because I think people will hear that now and be like, oh, well, it's one extra step. But if you take that extra step now, in the long run, you'll get it instantly because, as you said, the app, and you save it to your favorites and it just, boom, comes up. You can just refresh it and you'll get all our newscasts, all our news stories.
Yep. Right there. So help you out with that. Mark and Charity Coffee Podcast. Tomorrow it's our Throwback Thursday. We're going one-hit wonders of the 80s. So good.
But I liked how you spun it. You said they were songs that really jumped out at you, too. That's why they became those one-hit wonders.
Yeah.
There was a reason why they stuck.
Yep.
And we still listen to them and love them. So.
Nikki from Tony Basil. I love it. I do love it.
But it's one of those songs when I hear, I can't turn it off.
No, you can't.
You got to listen and sing.
Oh, I'm going to turn that down now. No, you don't.
You turn it up. And yours especially, too. And I picked mine first. And then Mark picked his. I'm like, oh.
Such a jerk.
You are a jerk. Because you went with Twisted Sister.
We're not going to take it. Because that's the way the world is right now, right? And I'm going to put
Mark's
on
not gonna take
my
it.
Dee Snider wig. Dee, if you're listening, thank you, man. Thank you.
He looked at me and said, you can have Tony Basil. I've got Twisted Sister.
I got Twisted Sister. I'm going to go. We're not going to take it. Winning song after the 8 o'clock news. Get on Facebook. Give us your vote on that. It'll probably be 1,000 votes for those songs tomorrow. Winning songs coming up after the 8 o'clock news tomorrow morning. And apparently it's a special birthday. Is that why we're doing Backwards Song tomorrow with Galaxy
of Games? It is one of the celebrities that will be part of the celebrity birthday game tomorrow.
Okay, because you've already seen it.
It's a big birthday for me.
Okay.
I don't know that you have the same feelings towards this person.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah,
we'll
it goes
tomorrow.
Back to your boy band.
Oh, all right.
Your love of boy bands.
Then I will, I guess. I will have an affinity for this individual
You'll be able
band.
to connect with it.
Okay,
you will
good.
appreciate
why
we did that one.
Well, coming up tomorrow with Mark and Charity in the mornings here on 95.5 Hits FM with the podcast. Have yourself a great Wednesday. We'll talk to you tomorrow.